And we say good morning to you, broadcasting live. We'd be on the road again at the Chicken House, as we call it, Chick-Fil-A at the crossings in North Johnson City. I'm not sure Tim wants me to call it the Chicken Coop, but it is. It's the Chicken House, Chick-Fil-A, the crossings in North Johnson City. We say good morning to you. We're here. There we go. There you go. And there I is, and we're getting ready to talk to my man here from Chick-fil-A. We got a full show ready to roll today. As always, going to be joined by Hank Brown from We Run Events. Again, getting ready for a lot of events coming up this weekend. Got a big road race in downtown Bristol. Tying in with Bill Gatton Honda. We'll tell you all about that. Also, a little bit later in the show, we're going to hear from our buddy Greg Salyer talking Major League Baseball. Also, Dave Angie stops by with the Johnson City Press. And we got more folks like this gentleman right here ready to go. And let's jump. He said, I got just a few minutes. I said, I totally understand that because he's busy. And let me turn this camera around so we can see him. There he is, my man, the myth, the legend. Look up there. Wave at him.
How you doing?
How you doing? Daniel Gooch, Chick-fil-A. How you doing, sir? Good morning.
I'm doing well. How about you, Tom?
I'm glad to have you on there. The guy's a handsome guy. He's a proud papa. How's that baby doing?
Fantastic.
Yeah. How old
Growing
now?
like a weed.
How
7
old?
months next week.
Lots of pictures?
Oh, yeah. Tons of pictures.
Every time I come in and go, hey, you want to see the latest picture? Here's where he threw up. Here's where he cut his first teeth.
Yeah.
It's like first-time child. Everybody gets it. I understand.
The world is his chewing toy right now.
The world is his chewing toy.
Yep, exactly.
I totally get that. So, man, some cool stuff coming out. We got a brand new sandwich, the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich. Tell me about it.
The Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich starts out with our fresh cut lettuce and our tomatoes. It's on a sweet yeast bun. It's the only sandwich on that bun. Has our regular grilled filet. It comes typically with Colby Jack cheese, but you can have the American or the pepper jack. And then it comes with our brown sugar bacon, which is incredible. It's definitely top of the line. I love the bacon on it. Here we go. He's going to try some right now. I think that's the best topper on it. And then it comes with our Smokehouse barbecue sauce, which was the barbecue sauce we did have in the past. I think a lot of people weren't sure if they liked it or not, but I can promise you they'll like it on the sandwich. The sandwich definitely fits well with this barbecue sauce.
So it's back.
Yeah, it's back. It's back in action.
Here we go. And so these are on sale now. They've been out for about a week or so, right? Get them as a single sandwich and a combo, too?
Yes.
Combo with the world-famous waffle fries. So
absolutely.
We're talking to my man Daniel Gooch. And what is your official title here?
I'm just one of the managers here.
Yeah, one of the well, not just one of the managers. He's a great manager. And
thank you.
Tim Birchfield entrusted him with all this great management and staff. In fact, Big Daddy's right behind us over here. He's in the house. The big dog. He said, keep on going because I got you. Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich. All right, now, it's hot out there and muggy. Tell me about it. You like the frosted lemonade. Tell me about that.
I love the frosted lemonade. So it just comes with about 25% of it was just our regular lemonade. We throw some ice stream in it, mix it up. It's just a wonderful, just kind of refreshing drink. It's not super heavy. It's pretty light, and it's really enjoyable.
He said, and you get it either diet or regular. You can
get it as diet or the regular lemonade, or you can even throw some strawberry in there and get a strawberry lemonade as well, which is really good as well.
Yes. Now, he wanted to talk about the watermelon mint lemonade. I said, no, I'll talk about that because I like it. He said, can I talk about the peach milkshake? I said, no, I'll talk about the peach milkshake. You talk about the frosted lemonade. I said, okay. So then I said, can you tell me about catering? Catering, or a lot of folks come to get things to go this time of year, a lot of school end-of-the-year parties, banquets. I mean, it just runs the gamut. Of course, getting ready to go into the first big holiday, Memorial Day. So tell us about catering and pickup here at Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, absolutely. So starting out in the morning, we obviously have our small mini trays and our large mini trays. Something new that we're selling is our 10-count mini trays. So they're smaller for smaller groups of people, or you can add like a small mini tray and then a 10-count if you don't want a full large. So that works out really well. People love our minis in the morning. Then we have our small, medium, and large nugget trays and strip trays, and also our sandwich and sub trays as well. Those are great for lunches, dinners, parties like that. High school, college students graduate and they love those nugget trays and those strip trays. Definitely suggest getting a couple of sauces with it as well.
What's your favorite sauce?
Honey barbecue or Chick-fil-A sauce would be my favorite.
Yeah. So, got to ask you this: when you're on break and you eat here, it's always a good sign of the people that work here. What do you typically have yourself to eat when you get on break?
I have the new barbecue sandwich.
Do you really?
Yep. It's that or the grilled sandwich every time, but lately it's been the barbecue sandwich. I love it.
This bacon's awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
Very good.
Yeah.
Because I got it inside of my mouth, can't hardly talk, but that's okay. What a way to go, right?
There you go. That's a good way to talk show.
Yeah, that's it. To have a talk show, you can't understand what I'm saying. Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich, brand spanking new. Again, topped with Colby Jack cheese and smokehouse barbecue sauce, served on a toasted sweet yeast bun. It is a limited time run, and so are the peach milkshakes. That's the summertime drink. Again, the frosted lemonade, and then can't go wrong with the regular milkshake you have.
Yep.
Chocolate,
cookies and cream. We got the strawberry, we got the peach, and just plain old vanilla.
Yeah.
So we're forgetting one thing though, Tom.
What's
we're
that?
forgetting our frosted coffee.
I
love our frosted
So
coffee.
I've never had frosted coffee.
You've never had a frosted
No.
coffee? We're going to have to remedy that.
I've never drank a cup of coffee in my life, but go ahead. Tell me about the frosted coffee.
The frosted coffee is fantastic. It's got our coffee base, which is the same. It's made with the same coffee base as our iced coffee. So it's pretty strong in caffeine, gets you awake, but also pretty refreshing for a hot summer day.
Yep.
So it's got ice cream in it.
It's got ice cream in it?
Yep, so it's just like the frosted lemonade, except just subbed with our iced coffee mix.
Try that sometime. I've never tried it.
Yeah,
Frosted
it's great.
coffee.
Absolutely.
Small and large, different sizes?
Small and large.
Small and large.
Yes,
There you
sir.
go. I know you're getting ready to
There you
get
go.
cranked up. It's lunchtime. Appreciate you, big guy.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
You for coming
Thank you
by.
for letting me come on the show.
Yes, sir. Frosted. Now, keep an eye on this guy, because one of these days he is one of those lightning rods in the Chick-Fil-A organization. He's got big time written all over him.
Thank
How
you.
about that?
Thank you very much, Tom.
I
Appreciate
believe
it.
that. He's awesome. Class act. As is his little wife, who's home now with the little guy.
Trip.
Trip.
Good old Trip Gooch. He's the lightning rod. I'm not the lightning
You got
rod.
that right. He's the lightning
Yeah,
rod.
he is.
He runs the show.
He absolutely
and he
does.
knows it.
Yep.
And yeah, he's already
I
figured
just
it out.
stand by and watch.
He just squalls and everybody comes running. There
Yep,
you go.
absolutely.
Yeah, you got it. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. We're live here at Chick-fil-A. We're going to jump in and talk the National Hockey League and also the NBA. LeBron had an off night last night, but Kyrie Irving didn't. Tell you about the Cavaliers beating the Celtics next here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, live from Chick-fil-A.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
The deals are heating up for Truck Month at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. Over 300 new Chevys to choose from, all with incredible savings. $11,000 off MSRP on 16 Silverado All-Star Crew Cabs. Check out the savings online at championjc.com. 16 Silverado Crew Cab, $33,685. 16 Track, $17,460. 16 Equinox, $21,615. 16 Traverse, $27,365. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the crossings in North Johnson City.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. Show number 525. It is. We dedicate our show to the man who hung on the cross. We unashamedly do that. We dedicate the show to the Lord Jesus, and it's his show. It's his gig, and that's how it goes. Here is the verse for today. John 8:12 says, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. There we go. I'm going to get a new one today. I'm tired of this thing. It doesn't work right. Maybe I'm just not hitting it right. Anyway, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. John 8:12. And that's how this rolls. And again, we unashamedly dedicate it to the man who hung on the cross. That's what this show's all about. And it continues to grow, and hopefully by, no show Monday, hopefully by Tuesday of next week, we'll be at Phil's Dream Pit. We'll make a big announcement next Tuesday because we're going to finalize some things this weekend, and we're getting ready to take this to the next level, thanks to the Lord, not to me. And so we will do that again, hopefully by Tuesday. We're going to finalize things over the weekend and make what we hope to be a huge announcement. Pretty sure it's going to be a big announcement coming up again on Tuesdays. We're very excited about that. NBA basketball last night, let's take a look at it. The Cleveland Cavaliers, Kyrie Irving took over in the second half, had 42 points. King LeBron added 34, and the Cleveland Cavaliers moved within one game with almost an inevitable rematch in the finals with Golden State. They rallied to beat Boston 112-99 last night, game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals. And that game was played in Cleveland. In that game, the Cavaliers had Kevin Love adding 17 points and 17 boards. They're 11-1 in the postseason. Avery Bradley scored 19 and Jay Crowder 18 for Boston. And so now it's 3-2 in favor of the Cleveland Cavaliers. They'll come back and play tomorrow night in Boston. And so the Cavaliers try and end that tomorrow night, of course, sitting on the other side and waiting like a Cheshire cat and waiting are the Golden State Warriors, eliminating my Spurs. And so Golden State just kind of coasting and getting ready for what it appears to be, as we said, an inevitable return for the third time of the finals between the Cavaliers and the Golden State Warriors. If, in fact, it gets to that point, looks like it's going to be. What a series that promises to be, because those are, I think you can safely say, they've earned it. The two best teams in the NBA coming up again. But Cleveland's got to finish off Boston tomorrow night in Beantown. Not an easy thing to do, but it's certainly doable the way they're playing. So we'll see. 11-1 in postseason is pretty strong for the Cavaliers. On the ice, Mike Hoffman scored the tie-breaking goal early in the third period to give the Ottawa Senators a 2-1 victory over the Pittsburgh Penguins. That was last night, forcing a decisive Game 7 tomorrow night in Pittsburgh, Eastern Conference Finals. Game 7 there with the winner facing the Predators for the championship of the National Hockey League, the Stanley Cup Finals. So tomorrow night will skate in Pittsburgh. The Penguins are the defending Stanley Cup champions, and again taking on the Ottawa Senators in Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals, the Eastern Conference Finals, getting ready for the Western Conference champion, the Nashville Predators, ready to go for the Stanley Cup playoffs. Pittsburgh, by the way, had 4 shots with the man advantage, but Anderson, the goalie for Ottawa, stopped them all. Craig Anderson, the goalie, stopped 45 shots. Holy smokes. You're talking about a goalie got his money's worth last night, including 22 in the second period alone. Penguins had 45 shots on goal, and this guy stopped them all. Incredible. So anyway, Ottawa stays alive for another day. They'll take it back to Pittsburgh tomorrow night for Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals of the National Hockey League. Hey, we're live again at the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We are on the road again at Chick-Fil-A. Tomorrow we're going to be at Champion Chevrolet. Going to be a schedule change of sorts tomorrow because the little person gets out of school. So I got to make sure I get her out of school. Can't leave her there. So they let out school tomorrow early, about 11:30. So as a result of that, we'll be picking her up from school. And I'm going to move the show back an hour till noon tomorrow, noon till 2 instead of the traditional 11 to 1. So we'll do noon to 2 tomorrow, one day only, to accommodate picking up the little lady on her last day of school. And so that's what you got to do when you're the daddy rabbit. That's what we'll do tomorrow, noon to 2 from Champion Chevrolet. Again on the Bristol Motor Mile, Johnson City. Tom Taylor Sports Show, thanks for being with us. NASCAR shaking up the 2018 schedule. Wow, moving some things around. Several changes, including new tracks for the final 11 races of the season. Announcing the new schedule yesterday, Indianapolis Motor Speedway becoming the 26th race of the Monster Energy Cup Series season and the final chance to set next year's playoff field. That race will be moved to September the 9th and not be part of the summer schedule for the first time since it was added to the NASCAR schedule back in 1994. So they're moving the Indianapolis Motor Speedway moving that race, the Brickyard, as it used to be called, to September, and make it part of the final chance to set next year's playoff field. So it's the final race. Typically it's been Richmond. They've moved that. Las Vegas Motor Speedway replacing Chicagoland as the opening event in the 10-race playoff series. Chicago moves to regular season race in July, so Vegas gets the first round of the chase for the championship. Richmond, which had been the playoff cutoff race since the format started back in 2004, will move into the playoffs. Why don't they put Bristol in? Tell me, why do they not have the greatest track in NASCAR, the world's fastest half mile? Why do they not include Bristol Motor Speedway in the scenario for the chase? Most popular track in NASCAR. Folks, you're talking about an early fall or even late September or mid-September race in the hills of East Tennessee, warm days and those cool nights. Why would you not do that? They're not. So, anyway, not for next year. They've already announced the schedule. Charlotte's playoff race will now be run on the venue's road course instead of the oval. It'll be the first NASCAR road course race in Charlotte's 58-year history. They call it the Roval. The Charlotte Roval is a 13-turn, 2.4-mile road course that incorporates part of the infield and all but 400 feet of the Charlotte's 1.5-mile oval. Mario Andretti, Jeff Gordon, A.J. Allmendinger, Jeff Burton, some of the folks have tested on the Roval, as they call it. The opening 3-race playoff next year will be Las Vegas, Richmond, Charlotte. The next round will be Dover, Talladega, Kansas. The third round is Martinsville, Texas, and Phoenix, with the championship finale next November the 18th. Next November, November the 18th in Homestead, exactly 9 months after the season opening Daytona 500. So, anyway, that's the new schedule. So next year, the playoff, again, first 3 races, Las Vegas, Richmond, and Charlotte. Next round will be Dover, Talladega, and Kansas. And the third round is Martinsville, Texas, and Phoenix. The championship finale next year at Homestead on November the 18th, which I just don't get it. But maybe the folks at BMS say they don't want to move the date. I don't know. The night race in August is the Bass Pro Shop NRA night race, as you can see on the old ball cap, is the night race of night races. So maybe they don't want to move for that reason. But, you know, the track with all the history, all the drama, all the beating and banging, all the changes that can happen in a blink of an eye at Bristol Motor Speedway, why would you not put it into the mix for the playoffs? But they didn't next year, so I guess I don't need to keep going on about that. What it is what it is, or it is what it is, I guess. Tom Taylor Sports Show. We are live again at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, we'll check in with our good friend and buddy Hank Brown from We Run Events. We had him on yesterday, and again, we had a little glitch, so we couldn't. In fact, his phone dropped out, so we'll try it again for today and get him back on here in just a few minutes. On a sad note, Cortez Kennedy, one of the best defensive linemen of his generation and a Pro Football Hall of Fame inductee, has passed away at the age of 48 in Orlando. Circumstances surrounding his death were still unknown, but there was nothing suspicious about his death. An investigation is being conducted. A star who spent his entire 11-year NFL career in relative obscurity playing in Seattle. Kennedy became the second Seahawks player inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame back in 2012. Cortez Kennedy, the big, huge, mammoth defensive lineman, Hall of Fame player, dead at the age of 48. Also want to tell you about baseball from the standpoint, the Buccaneers of East Tennessee State starting the Southern Conference Tournament today. Opening things up with the Catamounts of Western Carolina. Bucks face the defending champion of the first round, Catamounts, 4 o'clock today, Flora Field in Greenville, South Carolina. The Catamounts won the tournament last year, beating Mercer twice on the final day. Bucks go into the tournament with a 500 record at 27-27, are seeded 7th in the field after a 9-15 conference record. The Catamounts are 28-26. They're seeded 2nd after going 15-8 in conference games. Western Carolina, by the way, swept the Bucks a 3-game series earlier in the regular season. So Blake Smith starts it today, the starting pitcher in the double elimination tournament for the Buccaneers of East Tennessee State. They'll take on the second-seeded Catamounts of Western Carolina. 4 o'clock first pitch from Flora Field in Greenville, South Carolina. Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll take a look at high school baseball, softball, soccer. Some won, some did not win yesterday as they move into the second round of the double elimination. So some of our teams won and some got beat. We'll tell you who did that, who's still playing, and who's playing today. All that coming up next in our high school sports segment right here live at Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City. Show number 525 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show, brought to you by Grip Energy Drink.
At American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. Blue Lizard Australian sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Hey, take a look right here on the screen. Your chance to win tickets to the NHRA Thunder Valley Nationals coming up Father's Day weekend. Not that far away. All you have to do is go right there to the website, and you have. There's been a lot of folks sign up. TomTaylorSports.com/contest. Again, you have grandstand passes and, of course, pit passes. You see right here. Get down and touch and meet and press the flesh, as we say, with John Force and Brittany Force and Courtney and Anton Brown and Schumacher and all the famous NHRA drivers coming up on Father's Day weekend. We're giving away 10 pairs of tickets. These tickets are $80 a piece, or $80 for a pair. So retail value, you're talking, again, $800 for the tickets we're giving away. Why would you not? All you got to do is go right there, TomTaylorSports.com. Again, first name, last name, town you're from, and an email address, so when you win, we can get a hold of you. That's all you've got to do. Again, your chance to win coming up. We'll give them away June the 13th, a couple of weeks. We're ready to go. So we are live here at Chick-Fil-A, The Crossings in North Johnson City. We are glad to have you with us here again. on this Tuesday, or check this Wednesday. It's hump day. Let's take a look at high school softball, baseball. First off in tournament play in Tennessee from yesterday. The state baseball tournament, Single A, Summertown beats North Green 3-0. North Green playing today in the losers bracket game against Peabody as we speak, and the state tournament in Murfreesboro in the Single A. Also in AAA baseball yesterday, Dobbins-Minute got beat. They came out of the gate not so good, and they looked up and got beat 11-3 was the final score yesterday by Blackman. Actually 11-2. Indians drop into the losers bracket game. They're playing today. Jefferson County won yesterday. They beat Beach 2-1. They stay in the winners bracket. So today at 11 o'clock, starting up Dobbins-Minute 28-12, taking on Munford 21-17. Then Jeff County plays this afternoon in the winners bracket against Stewart's Creek. Jeff County 26-9 and Stewart's Creek 31-3 are the records in the winners bracket game today. Jeff County, the Patriots out of Jefferson City, taking on Stewart's Creek in the winners bracket at the AAA state baseball tournament. In softball yesterday, Unaka got beat 10-0 by Good Pasture. Also Green, that's in single A state softball. In AA, Greenbrier beat Elizabeth in 6-0. So today, Unaka plays in the losers bracket game, the single A softball tournament against Scotts Hill. Unaka 15-15, Scotts Hill 29-6. That's an 11 o'clock game today, playing as we speak. Also Elizabeth and the Lady Cyclones at 36-7, taking on Sweetwater at 20-9 out of the losers bracket. And that's at 11 o'clock today as well. And then also in state soccer yesterday, it was Science Hill winning, as was Greenville. Greenville beat Jackson Christian 4-0 in single A, AA boys soccer. Greenville, the defending state champ. Science Hill beats Cleveland 3-0. And so today they'll take on Station Camp at 20-0. Science Hill at 22-1. We'll play that one tonight at 8 o'clock in the AAA state soccer. And then Greenville battles CPA at 7:30 tonight in the semifinals. CPA at 16-4-1, and the Greenville soccer team at 18-4-2. So good luck to those teams playing today. And then you have playing for the state championship again for Reedy Tony, the Tennessee High boys tennis team. They beat White Station yesterday 4-0. Ravenswood beat Siegel 4-0. So today at noon, coming up in just a few minutes, Tennessee High plays Ravenwood for the AAA State Boys Tennis Championship. So good luck to Tennessee High trying to bring home the brass ring today for the Boys State Tennis Tournament being played in Murfreesboro. Now, in Southwest Virginia from yesterday, Conference 40 tournament in Gate City. John Battle beat Wise Central 3-2. Lebanon came back and beat Gate City 14-13 in a wild one. That was yesterday in baseball in Southwest Virginia. Today you have in the Conference 48 tournament, Castlewood taking on J.I. Burton at 2 o'clock at Eastside High School in Coburn, and Thomas Walker plays at number 1 Eastside at 5 o'clock today. That's the Conference 48 baseball tournament action in Southwest Virginia. Now in softball in Southwest Virginia, let's get those caught up from, from yesterday. Everything there yesterday got postponed in the Conference 40 tournament because of the rain. Wise Central John Battle, Gate City, Lebanon, postponed until the 25th, which will be tomorrow. Also, you have coming up today, Conference 48 softball tournament, Rye Cove at number 1 Eastside at 3 o'clock. And that's what you've got there in softball. I'm trying to scan down through this. So that's your softball in the state of Virginia. And in boys soccer in Southwest Virginia, John Battle beat Gate City 2-1 in 4 overtimes. John Battle beats Gate City. And then also Ridgeview defeats Wise Central 2-1 in triple overtime. So that's your boys soccer tournament action in Southwest Virginia. We are live again at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. Got to check it out right here. The Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich. Brand spanking new. Chick-fil-A grilled chicken with brown sugar and pepper blend bacon, topped with Colby Jack cheese and Smokehouse barbecue sauce, served on a toasted sweet yeast bun, available for a limited time. Smokehouse barbecue bacon sandwich here at Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City. And then also you got to check out on the other side of the card the watermelon mint lemonade. Woo-hoo, you're talking about something good. Watermelon mint lemonade, fresh squeezed Chick-fil-A lemonade mixed with natural watermelon and mint flavors. Also available Diet Lemonade as a lower calorie option, available for a limited time. Watermelon mint lemonade, and also you've got the Smokehouse barbecue bacon sandwich. Oh, you're okay. He's a little fella. That's all right. He's a little feller. Hello, youngin. How you doing? What's your name? Leon. Hello, Leon. Leon. Well, Leon, stand right here. You can look in the camera. All right? See right here? Can you see yourself in the camera? How old are you, Leon? How old? You 7? You 6? You 4? How old are you? 5 years old. Where does he go to school?
He just graduated pre-K today.
Give me some. Awesome. Good job. Leon just graduated from pre-K, preschool today. Awesome. Big day for Leon. So he came to Chick-Fil-A to hang out. Got him a watermelon. Look there. That's good stuff. Watermelon mint lemonade. Leon's in the house. We'll take a break. We'll come right back. We will check in with Hank Brown from We Run Events. He joins us next year. Show number 525 at the Tom Thurman Sports Show. Brought to you by Grip Energy Drink.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
The deals are heating up for Truck Month at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. Over 300 new Chevys to choose from, all with incredible savings. $11,000 off MSRP on 16 Silverado All-Star Crew Cabs. Check out the savings online at championjc.com. 16 Silverado Crew Cab, $33,685. 16 Track, $17,460. 16 Equinox, $21,615. 16 Traverse, $27,365. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back live at the Crossings in North Johnson City, Chick-fil-A. Again, we is here live. Again, here is the big one. Here's the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich. Brand spanking new. They are running through them, I can tell you that. And also, here's a watermelon mint lemonade. Woo, fresh squeezed Chick-fil-A lemonade mixed with natural watermelon and mint flavors, and that'll set you free. Let's go to the phone. We had him yesterday. We got him back today. Our buddy Hank Brown from We Run Events. Good morning, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Tom. How are you?
Good. We got a better connection today, so let's jump in here and go. You got a big event coming up this weekend at Bill Gatton Honda, and also a race at Camp Tapawingo. Tell me about those.
Yeah, we love the Bill Gatton Honda race. It's we've been doing that race since it started, and they've kind of changed gears on it a little bit. And a couple years ago, they called it the Run for Phil in memory of a good friend of ours, and Trace Bratton, the general manager there, Phil Temp. He passed away from ALS, I think, in 2013 or 14. So the whole race is kind of in recognition of Phil and all he did for finding a cure for ALS. And so that's where we'll be Saturday morning in Bristol train station, bright and early, 8 a.m. And once we finish there, we'll pack up and head out to Watauga, Tennessee, to Camp Tapawingo. I think I'm saying that right.
Yes.
Their first ever run, I call it the Joy Run, and it's a 5K there right around the camp area. So we're really excited to see how that goes, and we think it's going to be a really nice event. And they're going to let people, do the zip lines and everything there. So I'll stay off of that.
Yes.
I'll stay on the ground.
You got it. No zip lines for me either, Cowboy. You got it. So we're talking to Hank Brown again from We Run Events, and we're here live at Chick-Fil-A The Crossing in North Johnson City. Coming up, we'll hear from Karen Hubbs and the Goose Chase, and also top of the hour we'll hear from Greg Salyer talking Major League Baseball. Daniel Norris from Johnson City pitches tonight for the Detroit Tigers. He's in the rotation, of course. He pitches tonight in Houston, so good luck to Daniel. He represents all of us from Johnson City, and once we get one of our local guys up in the big league baseball, got to cheer for him. So he pitches tonight again against the Astros in Houston. Hank, we move into June. You got a lot of events going on in June. Give me a couple of the highlights of We Run Events, June events.
All right, I'll just give you some of the highlights. Well, we start out on June the 2nd on a Friday evening in Johnson City, the Blue Plum Fast 5K. It's called the Plum Fast 5K out of the Blue Plum Festival, and that's always a big event. It's a nice festival, so we're looking forward to that one. They start and finish there at Founders Park. It's a really nice course. And it's always been a very popular race, so we think it will be again this year. We got a new one. I know Karen will talk about this. The Downtown Mile on the 7th of June. So I won't steal her thunder on that one. It's part of National Running Day, and she'll give you all the information there. She's always got something cooking, Karen. So
yes,
this looks like it's going to be a good one. 3 races: a kids race, an open mile, and an elite mile. So that should be pretty fun to, even if you're not running, just to come down and watch that one. On the 10th, we got 2 events. The Varmint Half Marathon and 5K is in Burke's Garden, Virginia. It's an absolutely beautiful run through the bowl up there. It's actually kind of go up a mountain and come back down, and they've got a little bowl area, beautiful farmland, and it's a really great race. And then also on the 10th, we'll be in Elizabethton for the Covered Bridge 5K and the 3K walk. That's a really nice festival, and they do a good job with that race. It's been going on for a really long time. They really do a nice job there. We close out the month with a new race for us. It's been going on a couple of years, the drug-free Bristol 5K and at Sugar Hollow Park. So it's always fun to go run up in Sugar Hollow Park, a little bit hilly, but it's a really pretty park, and this will be a nice race. So that's some of the highlights in June. There
you go. We're talking to Hank Brown, WeRunEvents.com. Of course, the one he is behind full force of the obvious, the Crazy 8 Road Race coming up on July 15th, and the preparations are certainly in place for that big race. And tell me about the Crazy 8 this year. Got some new twists, do we not?
Yeah, some new things we're trying, Tom. Is Natalie and I aren't ones to sit still and just let things happen. We're always trying new things. Natalie's mind's always working. She's very creative. So we got a couple of new things this year. One is we're pretty excited about the Totally Crazy Challenge, we're calling it. And so the 3K has always been an untimed, non-competitive walk, and it will continue to be a walk. But we're allowing people to run as well, and we're going to time the 3K. So the 3K is before the 8K, and if someone does both the 3K, which we changed the name of the 3K to the Almost Crazy 3K Run Walk. Then, of course, you've got the Crazy 8's 8K. If someone does both, they're going to get a special medal called the Totally Crazy Medal. And we are working on the design of that. I think people are really going to like that medal. So we're already getting a lot of excitement about that. A lot of people signing up for both to do both the 3K and the 8K. So that's one of the new twists this year that we're pretty excited about. The other thing is we're going to move things for registration and the expo inside. We've always been inside the kind of the baseball field house there in the stadium. We're gonna be in the Dobbins Bennett little gym, and that way we can set up vendors and expo area, and everyone kind of be out of the weather. And we think that'll be much nicer. When we go to other races, like Crazy Eights, and they have an expo, it's always inside a nice big area. So we're gonna do that this year, and I think that'll be a nice feature we add to the event. So we got a lot of good things going on, and working on all the other things. We're working on the elite athletes there. I'm starting to get a lot of calls and emails from agents and from the athletes, and so we'll be announcing some of those things.
Full speed ahead, of course, as always, again, with WeRunEvents.com. So, yep, we'll let Karen talk about the Downtown Mile coming up. But, yeah, Crazy Eights, and this weekend you'll be in Bristol, and also Camp Tapawingo out in Watauga. So, lots going on. Everything you can find out, just go to WeRunEvents.com. Hank Brown, you're awesome, my friend. Thank you for checking in with us. And hey, we'll be back with you real soon. Keep promoting what you and Natalie and all the folks are doing. We love promoting running and walking here in the Tri-Cities with you and Karen, the Goose Chase, and everybody. It's good. It's a great place to run, great place to walk, and can't go wrong. We want to promote everything we can with you and Miss Karen, all right?
We appreciate it, Tom, and we appreciate all you do. And, yeah, it's a beautiful area of the country and lots of really nice races, so we're always happy to get on here and help promote them.
You got it. It's the name of the game. Have a great day. Have a great Memorial Day weekend. Have a great race weekend. I'll talk to you next week, all right?
All right. Thanks, Tom. You too.
Yes, sir. Bye. Good man right there. Hank Brown, our buddy again from WeRunEvents.com. He is one of the good guys. And right beside me is one of the good ladies. She's going to talk to us coming up next. School's out. I think that's an understatement. School's out. Therefore, most of the kids would appear to be at Chick-Fil-A. So we're going to take a break, come right back, and we're going to go from the beast to the beauty. How about that? We're going to talk to Karen Hubbs next in the Goose Chase, live here on the Tom Douglas Sports Show, show number 525. Brought to you by Grip Energy Drink. We'll be right back after you hear this.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years. 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics. 1-800-524-4447. If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We're live here at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossing in North John City. Look at this little lady right here. Isn't she nice? Look at her. Brought me a hat, the Goose Chase. I love it. My buddy Karen Hubbs with us here from said organization. How you doing, dear?
I'm doing very good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Love having this lady on. She is so upbeat. Good spiritual Christian woman. I'm going to go ahead and tell the story. The Circle Maker.
That's right.
She brings me a book about a year and a half ago here at the show. So you ever heard about this guy? No. Batterson, Mark Batterson?
Yeah.
Yeah. I said, no, I have no clue what you're talking about. So you need to read this. Okay. Well, I read it, got hooked. There's another book, Down in the Snow Pit, Being Chased by Lions or something like that. I can't remember the name of the book.
It's close.
But anyway, this guy's written all kinds of books. He's phenomenal. And because of that book and how you develop a new attitude in life, it's changed my life, really, to be honest with you, because she brought the book, a little thin book, and I never dreamed sit down one night and say, I'm going to start reading this thing. And
that's how the name The Goose Chase came about from that book.
So now she knows the guy, and apparently he's in town a lot. So I told her on my bucket list now, up along with Charles Stanley and Billy Graham, I want to meet this guy. I don't probably never meet those guys, but when Batterson comes to town, I want to meet him and have him here.
Yeah.
And get a picture taken with him because this guy's phenomenal. So anyway, I want to give a personal thank you to Karen Hubbs because she is a class act, I'm here to tell you. She has the Goose Chase organization, and she's got all kinds of events coming up starting June the 3rd. So I'm going to get out of her way and let her tell you what's coming up. The website is goosechase.org. So that's where you can go and find out what she's doing. So tell me what's going on with the Goose Chase folks.
Well, we have a lot going on, actually. Next Saturday, June the 3rd, we have teamed up with our buddies at the Turkey Trot. And you know that we're the race organizers that puts on the management side of it, but the organization behind the Turkey Trot, we're joining forces, and we've created this thing. It's a kids clinic called Turkeys in Training Kids Clinic. It's going to be at Kermit and Tipton Stadium here at Science Hill High School, the football track stadium. And we're teaming up with local running groups, Johnson City Run Club, Tri-Cities Turtles, the Wellness Center, Appalachian Orthopedics. I mean, there's the Washington County Health Department. There's a bunch of us that come and put this together, and we're just going to talk about the importance of running and the proper stride and pacing and nutrition and stretching and everything that goes in with the sport of running. And it's from 8:30 to 2:30. We have you can go to our website. But it's 8:30 to 2:30 at Kermit Tipton. Lunch will be provided. Also, they'll get a T-shirt, and you might even see the turkey there, which because he'll be training as well. But it should be a fun day. And again, we're just celebrating National Running Day. Also, Global Running Day is on June the 7th, and we have an event for that called the Downtown Mile. And it is a 1 mile race. If you can't run, you can always walk it. Bring your stroller, bring your dog, whatever. We just want people to come out to downtown Johnson City to celebrate the sport of running. We have 3 races. We have a kids race at 7, 7:30 is just open for anybody, and then at 8 o'clock we are recruiting out-of-town elites as well as some Hay Grounds elites. Johnson City Run Club will have some elites in there, but they'll be running at 8 o'clock to see who the fastest person in Southeast is. And then we got a little prize money we're going to give out. And Yeehaw Brewing is our title sponsor, but we have lots of support from downtown merchants in Johnson City that are helping us put together some things. It should be a big time. Great
time. Wherever she's at, it's a fun time. She's a happy camper. Look at her. She's always smiling. I've never seen you. If you've had a bad day.
Well.
Obviously, you can tell I'm a big fan of Karen Hubbs.
That's my friend and family.
Obviously, I'm a big fan of this lady, so she does a phenomenal job. Tell us about, for somebody out there who's wanting to start their own business, you just kind of started this. I think it's so cool. You just took that plunge, took the risk, took whatever you want to call it, took the challenge. Leap of faith. And started the Goose Chase, and you are now how many years?
It'll be 4 years in August.
Yeah, so look at that camera and tell folks they can do it if you can do it.
Anybody can do it.
Yeah, tell them a little bit about how you got the Goose Chase started.
Well, as you know, I worked at the Johnson City Chamber of Commerce in the CVB department, and so I worked in tourism, and we actually did a lot of baseball, softball, soccer events and brought them to town, and worked in tourism, and I learned a lot of my skill set, I guess, there through Gary and Brenda and the whole staff and the whole crew. And we started the Bluegrass Half Marathon while we were there, and then through a series of events, the Bluegrass spun off the chamber, and I realized that was my passion, was doing events like that for the community. And so I don't know, God was just stirring something in my heart, to be honest with you, and some of my friends were tired of hearing me talk about it. And so they said, here, read the book. And I read The Circle Maker, and we were in a Bible study together, or book study of that book. And every prayer that was prayed came true. So we circled them in prayer, and that book, his whole thing is about dream big dreams and pray big prayers. And you know, our life is short, and I don't want to come to the end and have regrets. So you know, and time flies. So anyway, I took the leap.
He's got a book out too, and I got to get it. I'll go ahead and give a plug to Lifeway Christian Bookstore, but it's called What If.
Yeah.
The name of the book is What If. You know. And instead of having the mindset, why not? Or no, not I can't. You should have the mindset, what if?
Yeah.
And what if I started my own company? What if I started my own sports show on Facebook? Everybody said, it's not going to work. Today's number 525. We got a big announcement coming up by, no show Monday for the holiday, but Tuesday we're going to have a big announcement about this show that's going to, you know, and it's the Lord, it ain't me.
Yeah.
And He's going to take it to the next level.
I feel like that God's got He has great desires for all of us.
Sure.
And I think in our humanness, sometimes we hold ourselves back from fear. And actually, I wanted to start a business 7 years before I actually did, and I let fear sort of overwhelm me because I didn't think I could do it. And then I swear that beat of my heart just kept on beating so loud, and everywhere I was going and praying, I just kept on feeling affirmation. So I thought, if I didn't do it, I'm going to be disappointing myself and the Lord and everybody. So here I do it, and I'm telling you, God blesses me. And a part of how we came up with our name, the Goose Chase, it's actually the Celtic Christians, I've told you this story, have a term for the Holy Spirit, and it's called Wild Goose. And basically, like, you don't know where you're going to go, who you're going to be, or what you're going to do, but it's anything but boring, and that's pretty much my life. And last Wednesday, when you called, I was actually we just put together a scavenger hunt for a local church, and so now we have a scavenger hunt that if any organization wants to do a team building project, and we actually might even make it into an event, but it was a lot of fun, and I don't know, it's just God keeps on opening doors for us, and we just keep on walking through until a door shuts, and you never know where it's going to lead.
That's how it rolls. And so, again, the verse for today, we do a verse every day. I'm the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. The light's all over her. John 8:12. We're talking to Buddy Karen Hubbs. So the big event comes up, Turkey Trot. So I'm going to ask you, today is May 24th. Can we legitimately, anybody out there that's never ran or even walked, can we start now, 6 months roughly? Can you get yourself ready for the Turkey Trot in 6 months, having never done it before, and say, today I'm going to set a goal, I'm going to run in the Turkey Trot? Do we have time to do it and get ready?
Definitely. Okay. Really, you can get ready for a 5K in 5 or 6 weeks. But if they do come to National Running Day on Wednesday, we have created a map with the help of a lot of downtown merchants and just Johnson City merchants, and we're going to have a map of the course, but we're going to have our upcoming events. But there's a huge section of all the running groups, And it's pretty amazing how many there are. There's one in Bristol, there's some in Kingsport, and then in Johnson City alone, there's almost a running group every day of the week. And so there's really not any excuse, me included, to get out there and exercise, because there are support systems out there in place. Anything from Couch to 5K to the elite runners. There's a group that meets every Wednesday at Science Hill Track that does track workouts. And the Tri-Seas Turtles is probably more my speed, but they have elite runners involved with that. And they have a bunch of Couch to 5K programs in place. And I'm telling you, if they can come down to Wednesday, they don't have to run it. They can just come and cheer people on. We'll provide information where they can get in a running group and a running community.
And if they don't want to run, if they want to start out walking, that's doable too.
Yes.
I mean, something's better than nothing, right?
Amen.
I know that sounds crazy, but something truly is better than nothing. If you walk one lap around the track tonight, another lap tomorrow night, and go, okay, I'm going to do a lap and a half. I mean, you don't have to jump out and become an Olympic runner overnight. You can't. But inch by inch, anything's a cinch, right?
And exercise will help with stress.
Sure.
And, it actually clears our mind to make better decisions, and who knows, it also gives us crazy dreams, ideas to follow.
Exactly.
And just a little walking will do it. And of course, you can always run or skip or swim or whatever.
Sure.
Bike.
Just do something.
Yeah.
Burn up those calories. Yeah. Research tells you that when you do that, you're just a better person. You think better, you sleep better, you eat better. It's all good. We get a little exercise, and she can help you coming up on June the 3rd, celebrating National Running Day. That's for kids. And then we've got let me put this up here too, the Downtown Mile. So I'm terrible at this.
Yeah.
I would never be a good weatherman. I'm all over the place.
But if you do think you can be in the elite race, we're actually giving away prize money for that. So the top male and the top female will walk away with $200 in the open race, or the elite race, and that's helped. Fleet Feet and Kingsport is actually helping us with that. But also the open race, we have awards for the Masters, Grandmasters, top 3 age groups. I mean, it's just going to be a really fun time. You know Timmy Norman with Cake Buds?
Yeah.
Well, he is putting together a cake. And if you've seen his cakes, it's going to be amazing. I don't know what he's going to do. But we're going to have a big celebration at the end, and he's going to unveil his cake, and we're giving out awards, and we're going to have a great time.
Going to be a great event. Again, go to the website, goosechase.org. We've hit you with a lot of information. That's okay. That's why we're here. We got to get her when we can, but she's on the move, I can tell you that. So while she's here, we want to get it June the 3rd for the kids, June the 7th, the Downtown Mile here in Johnson City. Kids race at 7, open race 7:30. The elite race is at 8. Go to the goosechase.org/Downtown Mile to get registered. And, of course, all the sponsors are at the bottom, and so including Hank, and we run events. So it's all good. Busy time, and so you've answered my question. You can get ready now. You can be ready for the turkey trot.
Definitely.
Sure.
Definitely.
So,
you can start now and be ready for the Bluegrass Half Marathon.
Which
that's
is
September 24th.
That's a whole other animal.
Yeah.
Yeah, September the 24th. So she does great stuff. You going to come back in a couple of weeks or come back next week?
I can come back next week.
Come back next week. Get her back here all we can. So,
I love talking. Have you not figured that out?
Yeah. And I love talking to you. She's a great Christian lady. So that's first and foremost. And by the way, she runs a good company too. So
thank you.
Have a great fourth. See, you got me nervous. Great Memorial Day weekend, not the 4th. Great Memorial Day.
Yes.
Lord, I'll see you next Wednesday.
See you, Tom. Thank you.
She's awesome. Awesome lady. And again, a great Christian lady. We appreciate her very much. Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll go from running to baseball. He's here. Walked in. He fought the crowd. He made it because it's rocking. I think every kid in Johnson City is here today. This place is rocking. I love it. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. We'll talk to Greg Salyer. We're talking Major League Baseball next year on show number 525 of the Tom Dolan Sports Show.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the things that owner Tim Smith is most proud of is their hard-earned certifications.
We are an ASE Blue Seal shop, which is important because what it tells the customer is we care enough to get certified, not in one certain area of cars. You have to be certified in 8 different certifications, in 8 different tests you have to take, and you have to be updated on them yearly to make sure that you're up to date. We not only have one of those, we have 3 ASE master technicians here. With the ratio, goes into a ratio, and we're a Blue Seal shop. So it tells you that we care about training and we care about knowing about your car. We want to help fix it right.
American Import and Auto Repair, West Market Street, Johnson City, home of the free loaner car program. Open 6 days a week. Call today, 913-3111.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Would you like something to drink, Mr. Salyer?
Coke Zero.
Coke Zero. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, please.
Look at him. He sits down and the world just comes to his fingertips. I've been sitting there for an hour. I don't get squat. No, that's not true.
No, you have two cups.
I got two cups
over
here. That's not really true.
And I see a piece of bacon laying there too.
I had a piece of bacon, probably stuck in my teeth. Now, let me tell you what kind of world how small this world is. Guys over here with a West Virginia shirt on.
Yeah.
I walk over, introduced myself. I said, "Where you from, West Virginia?" He told me, Bluefield. His dad was the engineer at the radio station I worked in Bluefield 30 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So he said, "You know Jay?" And I said, "Jay." Yeah, and he told me, "Yes, that's my dad." I said, "Wow."
Wow.
That's
it is a small world.
It is a small world. Greg Shire is with us. We're live again here on a wild and crazy Wednesday. School is out. Let me just say that. It's good. But you know what? Here's the thing. As crazy as it is, they get them in and get them out pretty quick here. They don't mess around.
Yeah, they do.
And the drive-through as well. Let's run down Major League Baseball, starting with the National League, run down the scores from last night.
Thank you.
Look here, Miss Nola. You're so sweet. You're so sweet. Sweeter. Okay, that's good. Cubs beat San Francisco 4-1. Colorado over Philadelphia 8-2. Washington 10, Seattle 1. Cleveland beat the Reds.
Oh, that was a good game, though.
8-7. Mets over San Diego 9-3. Toronto defeated Milwaukee 4-3. It was the Oakland defeating Miami. No, Miami beat Oakland 11-9. Dodgers beat the Cardinals out on the left coast 2-1 in the National League. In the American League from yesterday, Kansas City beat New York 6-2. Minnesota blanks Baltimore 2-0. Washington 10, Seattle 1. That little kid's been screaming for 4 hours. I don't know whose it is, but he just lets out these war hoops.
Yeah, so, I see him over there.
I see him going nuts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Angels beat Tampa Bay 4-0. Boston, you know why? You know where he's at because there's nobody else sitting around. Everybody's cleared out. Boston beat Texas 11-6. Toronto 4, Milwaukee 3. Houston beat Detroit 6-2, and Arizona beat the Chicago White Sox 5-4. Again, Daniel Norris pitches tonight. Norris in Houston against the Astros. I would think this is probably a pretty critical assignment. He struggled. He's 2-3. I think he needs to come out of the gate. He's got to have a good. I mean, I don't want him to get sent down. I saw where they sent down Anibal Sanchez, went down for the Detroit Tigers, back down to Toledo in Triple-A. But Daniel Norris needs a good start tonight.
Yeah, he does. Daniel's last start was against Houston as well, and it was a loss against the Astros. I think he gave up 5 runs in 5 innings, 5 2/3 innings, something like that. In that game, he needs a strong start tonight against the Astros. He definitely does. He's pitching against Charlie Morton for the Astros, one of the guys who's down in their rotation. So not the Keuchel level of pitcher for the Astros, but so I think he has a shot of winning this game. Of course, it's in Houston, but Daniel needs a strong start. His last game or two has not been one of his better efforts.
We're talking to our buddy Greg Salyer, the Major League Baseball update. Here we go. This is up right now. The Watermelon Mint Lemonade, got some of that. It is good. He's got even some Coke Zero. Also, the new sandwich for the summer, the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich. Again, Chick-fil-A grilled chicken with brown sugar and pepper blend bacon, topped with Colby Jack cheese and Smokehouse barbecue sauce, served up on a toasted sweet yeast bun. Available for a limited time at Chick-fil-A here at the Crossings in North Johnson City. Greg's got lots of baseball to talk about. Again, we're going to be joined by Anji at the bottom of the hour, and heaven only knows what he's going to have to talk about. He's a piece of work, but we know this gentleman talks baseball. He knows it in and out, so jump in there and take off. What do you got for us?
Yeah, well, you already mentioned Anibal Sanchez, so let's talk about that for just a minute. The guy who has been pitching in the bullpen, he's been a starter most of his career in the bullpen for the Tigers. From my understanding, Anibal Sanchez didn't just agree to being sent down to AAA. Some say that he may have been the one to suggest it, that he had some things he needed to work on. He's definitely not pitching like the Anibal Sanchez of old. This is a guy who has a no-hitter on his resume, and this year he has a 9 ERA. So from my understanding, and some of the guys that are in the know, they've said that he perhaps suggested to the powers that be there in Detroit, saying, hey, send me down, let me work on a few things, let me get some things back in rhythm. And he's going to be a starter in Toledo, so that's going to be a little different thing for him. Maybe get him back to the old Anibal Sanchez that we were used to seeing. And, probably a good move for him. I hope he'll be back soon and be more productive than he's shown he can be so far this season.
So for folks who are not a true baseball purist like you are, I am kind of sort of not like you are, so what are the benefits of going from a relief pitcher in the bigs down to a starter in Toledo, the AAA franchise of the Detroit Tigers? What's the benefits of doing that?
Well, he's been a starter most of his career, so these guys they get used to one role, and then they get put in another role, and this year, of course, coming out of the bullpen and being a long man in the bullpen, especially because of the fact that he's been a starter. I think maybe he'll feel more comfortable there. He'll come back, I think, after working on a few things, and he's going to be okay. I mean, this is a guy, I've said it before on the show, this is a guy who has done it before, and if they've done it before, there's no reason why they can't do it again. And he's not through. I mean, this guy's, I think, 32 years old, something like that. He's not ancient, and he's going to be around for a while longer. And hopefully he'll go down there, he'll start a few games, get in his comfort zone, get in a rhythm, pitch every 5th day. Maybe 2, 3, maybe even 4 starts in the minor leagues, and then he'll be back in the majors probably by the end of June, and hopefully pitching more productively out of the Tigers bullpen.
Talking to Greg Salyer again. We are live at Chick-fil-A The Crossing in North Johnson City. Let him catch his breath for just a second, because I want you to go here, and you have been. Check that out, where you can win tickets to the NHRA Thunder Valley Nationals coming up on Saturday, June the 17th. Chance for you to win not only get grandstand tickets and also pit passes as well. All you have to do is go to TomTaylorSports.com and /contest, and all we need is your first name, last name. Again, we're giving away pairs of tickets. We got 10 winners going to be announced on June 13th, and we have They're $80 a pair, so you're talking $800 worth of tickets are given away thanks to Bristol Motor Speedway. All you have to do for TomTaylorSports.com/contest is go there. And again, first name, last name, town you live in, and an email address. If you win, we can find you. It's just that easy, and good luck. And again, Jeremiah was telling me that it is going great guns right now, folks, registering for those tickets. You know, the NHRA folks, they love to press the flesh, have the fans come down out of the stands in between the races, sign autographs, pictures, photo ops. I mean, these folks are so accessible. Anton Brown, of course, Johnson out of Greenville, and John Force and Courtney and Brittany, the Force family, they're all about it. So get your name in the hat, register for those tickets, and good luck. And we'll give those away on June the 13th, which is not that far away. We're here live again at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City, talking baseball with my man right here. You see on the screen, Greg Salyer with Major League Baseball update. Now, Greg has told me next week's not going to be here, okay? I don't know what the problem is. He said he's got an anniversary. I said, you're bumping me for your anniversary. He said, yes. I am.
Yes.
Yes, I am. I said, if you didn't, I'd be mad at you. So he's going to be with us on Tuesday. We're going to be at Phil's Dream Pit, again off Eastern Star exit of I-26. So, and he'll be back on a regular time visit after his anniversary. Which one is it?
Number 20.
Number 20.
Yeah.
Awesome. Happy anniversary. So, anyway, he'll be with us next week on Tuesday. No show on Monday. It's a holiday. Tuesday we'll be at Phil's Dream Pit. Wednesday right back here. Next Thursday we'll be at Champion Chevrolet. Next Friday we'll be at Food City and Elizabeth. And so that's our schedule for next week. All right, so managers are underperforming. All right, let me ask you, before we get into the one that's the obvious, up in Beantown, Brian Price, okay, not okay in Cincinnati?
Okay, so I'm hesitant to answer. He's made some good moves. Okay, there's some things Brian Price has done that I agree with, but you know, I'm still saying that the Reds are not going to be the team they should be as long as he's the manager. The bullpen seems to be much better this year than last year, and that's a personnel thing. You know, there's only 2 guys that are in the bullpen this year that were there last year. The starting pitching is where the Reds are having some issues. Their ERA is just astronomically high. And, you know, I question Brian Price as far as taking the pitchers out of the game. You know, sometimes I think he just waits a little too long. And, you know, and he's a pitching coach, so you would think that would be one of his strengths. But, you know, he's definitely not Sparky Anderson, Captain Hook, you know, who would go out there in the middle of the inning and do it all the time. Brian Price just really thinks that a pitcher should finish that inning. And, you know, so I think there needs to be a change made in Cincinnati.
All right, I would agree. There was a young lady went by, I hadn't seen her in a coon's age, and we wanted to say hello. Yeah. And we're talking to our buddy Greg Salyer. So the obvious for me, for the payroll and the talent, the manager in the Boston Red Sox not getting it done. What do you think?
Yeah, John Farrell is definitely on the hot seat. Yeah, he could be gone as early as this week, I would imagine, depending on what they do.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, you know, the team's over 500, but they're in 3rd place. And this is a team that most people expected to run away with that division this year, and it's just not happened. And, you know, when you got the Orioles and the Yankees both in front of you, I mean, and in Boston, when the Yankees are in front of the Red Sox, that's an issue. That's a problem. So, from what I understand, he almost got the hook last week when they were in Oakland and lost 3 out of 4 to the A's in a 4-game series. And the first 3 games they lost. And in fact, from my understanding, if they had not won that 4th game of that series, that may have been his last one in Boontown. So, you know, so they gave him a reprieve at that point. But the problem with Boston is they're not beating the teams they should be beating.
Exactly.
That's their problem. They're winning games, but they're not beating the teams they should be beating. And, you know, yeah, I would not be surprised to see John Farrell out of the Red Sox dugout in the next few weeks if they don't turn around drastically.
Oh, so I thought maybe the end of the season, so they're going to hook him before then.
It won't. They're out of patience, I think. I mean, I think it's going to be soon.
We're talking to Greg Salyer, talking Major League Baseball. We're live here at Chick-Fil-A in the Crossings in North Johnson City. The Tom Taylor Sports Show number 525. How about that? And we'll hopefully have a big announcement on Tuesday at Phil's Dream Pit, taking us to the next level. And so we are in negotiations with that. We'll have that finalized over the weekend, and so we're ready to make that announcement, we hope, on Tuesday. No show on Monday. We're going to take a day off to hang out on the Memorial Day weekend. By the way, on Monday, banks are closed, post office is closed, most government offices are closed for Memorial Day, so just make you aware of that again for this coming Monday. So church office closed, I would assume.
We're closed,
sure.
yeah.
Need to
We're
be.
off.
Need to get away. Need to be, yep. So, other managers. What about, all right, what is it? Terry Collins, New York, Mets. What about him? In trouble?
He's in trouble as well. Mets are not doing anything, basically, so he's in trouble. I would imagine John Gibbons in Toronto might be in trouble. I mean, he signed a contract extension before the season, but that doesn't mean anything. You know, I didn't see Toronto improving any over last year. Matter of fact, I thought they got worse. But, I would imagine that he's one that'll be in the hot seat as well.
We're here live again at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. We're live here again on the Tom Taylor Sports Show coming up. Dave Angie joins us at the bottom of the hour. So, on the flip, let's look at some of the other guys. San Francisco underperforming. I'm not out here advocating firing managers, but that's usually the first one to go. So, Boston on the hot seat. Brian Price is on the hot seat. Terry Collins, New York Mets on the hot seat. Let's see. Let me look at some of these other teams.
Yeah, I'm not sure San Francisco's going to do anything with Bruce Bochy. He's probably a Hall of Fame manager, I would imagine. He's been around a long time. I think they're going to give him a shot, and I think they know what they've got there. I think that the motivation may not be there for the team this year, but then personnel-wise, when you look at their lineup, it doesn't match up against some of these other teams. Pitching-wise, they should be good. They should be better than what they are, but I don't really see San Francisco making a change this year.
Don Mattingly in Miami.
It's a possibility. Mattingly is an extremely popular manager, popular guy. Everyone loves this guy, but that is a possibility as well that he could be gone.
Should I be surprised Kansas City's in the cellar? Is this guy in trouble? I can't remember the manager's name.
Ned Yost.
Ned Yost.
That's an interesting story because Yost has won with the Royals and now he's losing with the Royals. He started out losing, then he started winning, and now he's losing again. So, it kind of makes you think, okay, is he the issue or not? Probably not, but I think Kansas City's in trouble pitching wise, and I think they need some personnel changes there before they maybe go to the manager.
On the flip side, let's accent the positive as well. We're talking to Greg Salyer. On the flip side, you got to be, if you're a Yankees fan, you got to be ecstatic. I mean, these guys, 26-17, 9 over, game and a half lead over Baltimore in the East, and of course they got the Judge and just a young baseball team, and gosh, Yankee fans ought to be ecstatic. I don't think they thought they'd be where they are right now.
Yeah, I don't think they did either. I picked them third in that division, and here they are leading it. And I wouldn't be surprised at this point if they don't do that. Aaron Judge, you mentioned him. He is just a phenomenal player. He's getting my All-Star votes. The Yankees have even put a special seating section in right field called the Judges' Chambers, and there is it's a beautiful little area. I mean, it's got like wood around, and it looks really nice. And the thing is, you don't just buy tickets to sit in the judges' chambers. They choose people who sit there.
Oh, really?
And typically what it is, it's people who have seats other places, and they upgrade them. And they look for families. They look for especially people that may have Aaron Judge T-shirts on or something like that. And they'll put them out there, and they sit right behind Aaron Judge in right field. The funny thing is, some of them, they even give them black robes to wear, like a judge's robe. They're going all out with this thing. And some fans are even showing up with robes and powdered wigs. So,
really?
Yeah, I mean, this guy's big
cool.
in New York right now. So, so I imagine he's a guy that the Yankees are planning on holding on to for a long time. And I think they think he's going to be a fixture in the majors for years to come.
We're talking to our buddy Greg Salyer. He brought a whole list of stuff to talk about. I think we've covered about everything.
We've
the
got
Mets.
most of it.
I thought that was cool. The Mets. Talk about respect. Aretha Franklin sings that song, R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Talk about respect for the Angels' Mike Trout.
Yeah, with the bases loaded last weekend, they contemplated walking him with the bases loaded. I guess you think about it, okay, give up 1 run or give up 4 runs. Which would you rather do? And I think they were afraid, the way he's been hitting, that might be 4 instead of 1. So they thought about it. They didn't do it, but they thought about it. The last 2 guys I can remember that happening to. It was pretty common for Barry Bonds. I don't know if you remember that, but it was pretty common to see him walked with the bases loaded. And the only other player that I can remember seeing that happen to was Josh Hamilton in his prime when he was playing for Texas. And you saw that then a few times as well. But yeah, that is the utmost of respect to walk a player with the bases loaded, because you're giving up a run.
We're talking to Greg Salyer. So, all right, we're at 35, 40 games into the season, way early. But for kicks, if you had to pick a Cy Young Award winner right now in both leagues and an MVP right now in both leagues, and I threw him a curveball. He didn't know this was coming, but it ain't going to bother him. He's getting ready to go on his anniversary. He don't care. So, so Cy Young and MVP. Who would you pick right now?
Cy Young in the American League, Dallas Keuchel.
Okay.
I think that one's a no-brainer at this point.
Kershaw.
Unless something happens. National League, I would probably go with Kershaw. He may not have the numbers a couple other guys have, but I think as far as solid pitcher, I think he would be the guy that I would pick. MVP. I'm not going to throw into the factor there where their teams are at this point, because I know that makes a major difference a lot of times, because that can all change. If I was going to pick an MVP in each league, probably in the American League, I would probably go with Mike Trout right now. You might want you can make a great case for Aaron Judge of the Yankees, but he's a rookie, so he'll probably get Rookie of the Year hands down. That may even be unanimous. Another one you could maybe think about would be Miguel Sano from the Twins, because he's the reason they are where they are, I think. So that would be he would be another guy that I would mention in that talk. As far as the National League, there's a few guys that you could think of. One
Sweet tea and ice, please.
Would possibly be Eric Thames, this guy from Milwaukee. He's putting up the numbers. He's helping the team win. Milwaukee's in first place. Who would have thought we would be saying
exactly
Milwaukee Brewers in first place here toward the end of May? I would have never thought that.
Exactly.
I picked them 4th and said maybe 5th even in that division. And he's definitely one of the reasons that they are where they are. So, I would probably pick him. Another guy that I would have thrown out there and before he got hurt would have been Freddie Freeman. I think he's putting up the numbers and has been playing well enough to be in that talk as well. Of course, with the broken wrist, we don't know exactly how long he's going to be out, and that's probably going to hurt him in any talk of MVP.
Obviously, the Braves again right now. Braves.
The Braves are in second place.
7 out.
Yeah, I mean they still have a losing record, but they're in second place in that division. So
they go out and get Matt Adams to replace Freeman. Cardinals lose him. I know. I talked to Rob Cole yesterday. Cardinals guy said didn't want to lose him coming off the bench. That was a big feather in our cap to have him over there. So is that a smart move for the Braves? Go out and get Adams as a stopgap.
Yeah, absolutely. Very smart move for the Braves. They're planning on playing Matt Adams even when Freddie Freeman comes back. They'll put him in the outfield, probably right, and see what he can do. He came into the season in better shape than he's been in his major league career. So they definitely made a good move picking him up. He was a bench player for the Cardinals, but a guy with tremendous power. The Braves have already seen that. And, they're going to continue to play him even when Freeman's back in that lineup as their best player.
Daniel Norris pitches tonight against the Houston Astros. Need a big performance from him. Again, as you said, the guy that he's going up against is kind of like Daniel. He's not the big gun. He's 3 or 4 down in the starting rotation, Morton. But still, the best team in baseball record-wise, 31-16. 7 better than Texas right now. So he's going against the best in, the best of the majors, the Houston Astros, at home in Houston. So we have his work cut out for him. Last week, did you see the guy tattooed the home run off him, about 445-footer?
Yeah.
Like a lunar shot. So.
That's one of those you don't even want to turn around.
No, I don't think he did either.
Yeah.
If I remember right, watching Daniel Norris, he threw it, cracked the bat. It's like, okay, give me a new baseball.
Yeah.
We know where that one went, way back up in the stands. So, anyway, Daniel Norris needs a big pitching performance tonight. We're pulling for him, and it's going to be fun to see what he does tonight All right, before I let you go, we got a 19-year-old Cuban. Let's talk about that real quick, and then also what's coming up to Church House Sunday.
Yeah, we talked about this guy a few weeks ago, Luis Robert, Cuban outfielder, 5-tool player, guy that a lot of teams are really after and really wanted. Certain teams didn't have a chance at him at all because of some things with their payrolls, but it appears that he may be going to the Chicago White Sox. That seems to be the team that he's going with. It looks like he may be getting some kind of contract in the $26-27 million range, which is phenomenal. I mean, that's huge for a 19-year-old kid from Cuba. So good for him. You know, I mean, if they're willing to pay it, take it. And he's probably going to be a guy that we're going to hear about. It's going to be a few years, but we'll be hearing from Luis Robert. Remember that name.
Luis Robert.
Luis Robert.
Singular, not S.
Singular.
Robert. Luis Robert. I'll make sure I got it right. Luis Robert. So,
yeah.
There you go. Church House on Sunday you're preaching about.
Yeah, it's Memorial Day weekend, so we're going to be looking at Exodus chapter 17, verses 8 through 16, a written memorial. Interesting passage. I'm still kind of struggling with it myself and looking at how I'm going to deal with it, but it's a passage where we see a memorial given and something that I think we can look at today and see how memorials still apply to us today as we go into Memorial Day weekend.
There you go. Great job. See you Tuesday.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Tuesday at Phil's Dream Pit.
Yeah, we'll
come
have
hungry.
barbecue.
Getting ready to eat over here too?
I'm going to have chicken today. Yes, sir.
Ooh, going to have some chicken with the feathers. I love it.
Yeah.
We'll take a quick break. He's waiting in the wings. He's got that big M on his hat, so, you know, we're probably going to talk a little Michigan football. My man Anji's in the house. He joins us next. We're live at Chick-Fil-A on show number 525. Brought to you by Grip Energy Drink. Live from Chick-Fil-A. You're listening to the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
The deals are heating up for Truck Month at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. Over 300 new Chevys to choose from, all with incredible savings. $11,000 off MSRP on 16 Silverado All-Star Crew Cabs. Check out the savings online at championjc.com. 16 Silverado Crew Cab, $33,685. 16 Track, $17,460. 16 Equinox, $21,615. 16 Traverse, $27,365. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now, some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
We're back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We're live again here at Chick-Fil-A, the crossing in North Johnson City. Tomorrow will be at Champion Chevrolet on the Bristol Motor Mile, Johnson City. Monday, no show. We'll be off for the holiday. And then Tuesday, we'll be at Phil's Dream Pit, which we anticipate we'll be having a big announcement. We're going to finalize some things this weekend and hope to have a big announcement for you on Tuesday. That's the goal. And again, we would encourage you, before we get Dave on, Dave's looking up some scores for me because Dave's my buddy. But before we get into that, look right here. You can go to this website, and it's popping. I think we had 130 registered just the other day on one day. TomTaylorSports.com/contest. Again, tickets to the NHRA Thunder Valley Nationals coming up on Saturday, June 17th. It is a grandstand pass. There's the grandstands, by the way, at the drag. There's the grandstands, and, of course, the pit pass gets you right down amongst the drivers. And I know Dave, we talked about this last week, and let's get my man back in here, my buddy Dave Angie with us here from the Johnson City Press. And so, you know, we're going to talk about Bristol coming up here in just a second, what happened over the weekend with the short track nationals. But NHRA, we talk about NASCAR guys pressing the flesh. NHRA, they love, I mean, they encouraged, even in between the races, to come down when they're changing out the motors or the engines. They're all about getting autographs and shaking hands and kissing babies, aren't they?
Oh, man, it's any driver you want to meet, you can meet down there. I mean, there's no, there's nothing that's going to stop you from doing it. And they're really friendly, really personable. I know for us, us in the local media that cover the races, at least for me, it's the weekend I look forward to the most because any story idea you can dream up, anybody you want to talk to, you can talk to. And it's the same way with the fans. Anybody you want to meet, hang out with, you can do that. John Force, he's probably the biggest name. Him and his daughters, of course, got very famous. Of course, John Force, many times a champion in the sport, but they had the reality show on TV, and those folks are just right out there. You can meet them anywhere. It's just amazing. The racing itself is so much fun to watch. That's why I think you have so many people trying to win some tickets because word's gotten around, and attendance is always wonderful for these things because people know you're going to see some really exciting racing. People of all ages love it. Then of course you're going to get to meet the drivers that are out there racing. So yeah, all in all, it's just a wonderful weekend, and one I'm really looking forward to.
Yep, Thunder Valley Nationals Father's Day weekend. These tickets are for Saturday, June 17th. So why would you not try? We're going to give away 10 pairs. There's $80 a pair. So that's $800 worth of tickets the Dragway's giving me, and I appreciate that very much. So you can be one of the 10 winners. So you not only have, I'm not going to try and win, only get one chance. Now you got 10 chances. So obviously that increases the likelihood you're going to win tickets. So all you got to do, let me go to it one more time, and then we'll get Dave in here because he was there this weekend talking about, had a great article in the paper about the old Bristol. In fact, it's in today's paper, and I'll reference that in just a second. But again, one more time, go right there. NHRA Thunder Valley Nationals, again, Saturday, June 17th. Tickets provided to the grandstand and also the pit pass. And all you got to do is go right there, TomTaylorSports.com/contest, and there will you be. And so good luck. We're going to make that announcement, obviously, you see, on Tuesday, June the 13th.
And here's another thing. I mean, if you don't win tickets, then go buy some tickets because your dad doesn't want another tie or a coffee mug. Let me take him out there. Give him some horsepower for Father's Day. Give him some horsepower. You can buy him. They got all sorts of great concessions and food there as well. Take him out, treat him to a day of speed, and then he can meet the drivers.
It's a good point. It's a great
tailor-made right there. If you're having trouble shopping for Father's Day, there you go.
See this guy? He's on a tailor-made. The guy's on it. He has a marketing machine, this Angie guy. All right, at the bottom of the paper, if you don't have the Johnson City Press, I'm going to tell you to go get it because there he is, my guy. I'm terrible. I would never be a good weatherman. I never have got that right. New NASCAR, not track, is real issue at Bristol Motor Speedway. Great article this guy's written, and he's exactly right. So give us, before we go out and read it, give us the summation of this article.
I've always loved the technical side of NASCAR ever since I started covering it. I really kind of gravitated toward that, and I used to a lot more do it. And I used to go visit race shops and kind of watch them build the cars and talk to the guys that build the cars, and so I kind of gravitated toward that. And what completely drives me crazy is when you watch NASCAR now, there's just not any passing. It has been something for the last 10 years since the car tomorrow came in, where those cars are so heavy. And even with the new Generation 6 cars, it really hasn't solved this. It puts so much load on the right side of the race car that they can't put soft enough tires on the car for there to be tire wear like there was back in the 80s and 90s and the glory days of NASCAR. You hardly ever see a driver nowadays give up track position to get a new set of tires, like you did in the old days, because, once you have track position, it's hard to pass. So that's kind of really hurt the quality of the racing. I think you saw it in the All-Star race, they've done great things at Bristol in order to improve the quality of the NASCAR racing there. I thought in the spring it was as good as it's been because of the rosin they put down on the lower groove, just to kind of, and they're doing what they can, but you just can't overcome this issue with tires. And, this past weekend watching the super late models run around that track, and these are really light race cars, just the way that they kind of slid through the corners. There was passing in those races. There were wrecks in those races. People have been wondering for years, these big 10-car wrecks and stuff we used to see at Bristol, where have those been? Where is the passing that we used to see at Bristol? In these late model races, that was all there. So my contention in this whole thing is, old Bristol isn't gone. It's just new NASCAR. That's the problem. Until they can find a way to retain the safety advances that they've made, which those are very important, as we found out with Eric Almirola. It's amazing he walked away from that wreck, the way he did. And, so the safety part, they got to find a way to keep that, but take some weight off of these Cup cars, because if they're able to do that, they're going to be able to put softer tires, which is going to allow for more passing on every track on the circuit, and is really going to help the on-track product. So, definitely that's something that I think they need to address, because the All-Star race, no passing in that one, and it's something that they're going to have to deal with at some point.
We're talking again to our buddy Dave Andre, the Johnson City Press. We are live again here at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. Tomorrow will be at Champion Chevrolet. So crowds were treated. Of course, the rain came. We can't control the rain. But once you got rolling, once we got it dialed in up there on the track, had some great racing, had a little fights, had some tempers flaring. So it's Bristol, the beating and banging. So I think it was an experiment. I think you would call it a success, wouldn't you?
I think so, and I think they're going to bring this thing back. And Rusty Wallace was in there talking about it Sunday. He said, man, everybody after this is over with needs to go home and kind of get their heads together and figure out how to improve it and bring it back and do it again. And, I do think, just from talking to some of the drivers, I think, as good as the fields were, and these were, great cars, when you looked at the qualifying sheets, like in super late model, from top to bottom, it was separated by a second and a half on the lap times, so that's, you saw that in the racing too, just a lot of good drivers out there. But you're going to get more good drivers if you move it to another time of year, possibly in the fall, because there's a lot of drivers racing at their local tracks that couldn't afford to lose out on points this past weekend to come to Bristol, who, if you had it in the fall, or maybe at the beginning of the season, would be able to do that. So they may have to tweak the time of year they do it, but in terms of the format and the way the whole thing went, besides the weather, which can't be controlled, it was an unbelievable show. The racing was just so much fun to watch. I almost had to remind myself I had to kind of focus in on writing about it, because I got caught out there watching it. It was just so much fun to watch those cars go around the track. So, they're really on to something with this.
We're talking to Dave Andre. We're live again. We're at Chick-fil-A, the Crossing, North Johnson City, show number 525 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show, and we love it. Speaking of NASCAR and the schedule, they announced the 2018 schedule yesterday. I just don't get it. I don't know why they've rearranged the playoff shuffle, the chase, and Bristol's not one of the tracks, and I don't get that. Indianapolis Motor Speedway will become the 26th race, the Monster Energy Cup season. It'll be the last race next year to get you into the playoffs. So they're moving Indianapolis Motor Speedway from the summertime to September the 9th. Las Vegas replaces Chicagoland as the opening event in the 10-race playoff series. Richmond, which has been the playoff cutoff since they started the format back in 2004, will move into the playoffs now. And so the opening 3-race playoff round next year, a year from now, Las Vegas, Richmond, Charlotte. The next round will be Dover, Talladega, and Kansas. No. The third round is Martinsville, Texas, and Phoenix. The championship, of course, being down in Homestead a year from now, November the 18th. Does Bristol not want to move it? NASCAR doesn't want to tinker with it. Why would you? To me, it's the greatest track in NASCAR, and it was never more evident than this weekend with the short track folks. Why would you not put Bristol into the fray for a championship in NASCAR?
Well, I think with Bristol, you do one or two things. In my opinion, what I would have done if I would have been them would have said, okay, we're going to move Bristol into that last slot where it's the last regular season race, and you have to get through Bristol to get to the chase. Move Indianapolis into Bristol's old date in August, because I think that would, for everybody, it gives Indianapolis a little bit of space between the Indy 500, which is coming up this weekend, at the end of May, and then their race, they can have it in August instead of July. And I think you would get slightly cooler temperatures up there. moving them into September, you could get, not that it'll be terrible weather in Indiana, but you can get some pretty nasty stuff up there. Even that time of year. So,
Great point.
but what really bothers me is what they're calling the Roval at Charlotte, where they're racing an infield road course in the oval. And it was funny on Twitter the other day. Dale Earnhardt Jr. chimed in, and he said, when he heard about the Roval, he said, it reminds me of that Christmas I asked for a PlayStation and I got a leaf blower.
That's pretty good.
So
That's
good. What I got a kick out of that is obviously I think his dad thought maybe he shouldn't be sitting on the couch. Maybe he needs to get out in the yard and do something. But no, I mean, I don't think the drivers are incredibly excited about that being a chase race where they're kind of half on the oval, then they're driving around the infield. It seems kind of gimmicky to me, especially when you have so many good road courses that they could put in this. And I know they have deals with the tracks and everything that extend out 10 years, and it'll be a while till they can really shake it up. But still, that seems to me to be the makings of a really, really bad idea.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Charlotte, what he's talking about, Charlotte Motor Speedway's playoff race will now be run on the venue's road course instead of the oval. It'll be the first NASCAR road course race in Charlotte's 58-year history. The Charlotte Roval, as Dave was talking about, is a 13-turn, 2.4-mile road course that incorporates part of the infield and all but 400 feet of Charlotte's Motor Speedway. Mario Andretti, Jeff Gordon, A.J. Allmendinger, Jeff Burton, among those have tested the Roval, as they're calling it, R-O-V-A-L. I don't get it, but so anyway, some changes made for next year's 2018 schedule. I'm assuming we're sticking with an April-August dates, obviously the Bristol Motor Speedway for 2018.
Yeah, this is like in terms of inventions, the Roval is like the spork of racetracks. And you remember the spork from KFC back in the day. You couldn't use it as a fork, you couldn't use it as a spoon, so it was pretty much useless. So that's what I think this is. This isn't a road course, it's not an oval.
It's useless.
It's pretty much useless, and they're gonna race a playoff race on it. So yeah, more power to them. It may be the greatest thing ever, and I may be proved wrong, but it's a little gimmicky to me.
There you go. That's really last thing NASCAR needs is gimmicks. Run the race. I thought the Monster Energy All-Star race, had the drama, had the money. Of course, my guy won, sure, but still, I thought that they opened. They got a couple of guys in. Chase Elliott went in with a van vote, so I thought we were treated some pretty good racing. And
I thought the Open was the best race of the night. I thought it was great.
Yes.
Watching those young guys mix it up.
The qualifying races were the ones, I agree with you 100%. Yeah. Now, this weekend, the Coca-Cola 600, they tinkered with it again. They've added now 4 stages to the Coca-Cola 600 coming up this weekend. Longest race of the year. Regan Smith, Richard Petty Motorsports, is he the man who's going to drive for Amarola?
I think this is a part-time situation. From everything I'm hearing about that, they're going to be looking for maybe multiple replacements for him, because this could be a long period of time. I think Smith was the guy that made sense initially. They've got sponsors and stuff they need to talk to. And with Amarola, I didn't realize it because time sneaks up on me nowadays. But he's been in that 43 car for 5 years. So there's some long-term relationships that he has with sponsors. And, with Richard Petty Motorsports, the number one job for them is to really be in communication with sponsors, give them a list of drivers, and try to, have some meetings, with them to see, okay, who's going to work, pitching stuff for you, if this winds up being a 2 or 3 month deal. So, I think Smith, and he's a guy that I think he's proven himself as a driver to the point. It seems like a lot of race teams seem comfortable putting him in the car. I think he drove a little bit for Tony Stewart and maybe even once or twice for Junior when he was out with concussions. He's a guy that can just plug in and seems to drive pretty well, so he's a good stopgap. But I think they're looking for somebody maybe who's going to get a shot moving forward. And, I'm still a fan of Bubba Wallace, and just watching him win at Bristol this past weekend, man, he's a talented driver, and I think he might be held back a little bit by the equipment he's in, because Roush Fenway Racing isn't what it used to be. And they're kind of number 3 in the pecking order there with Ford. So, I'd like to see him get a shot in that car, see what he can do, because I think he's a really talented driver, and I think he'd be great for sponsors too. So we'll see if that one winds up panning out.
On the screen, you see we're talking to our buddy Dave Andre, the Johnson City Press. We're live here at Chick-Fil-A, and we can talk all day to this guy. We've got about 14, 15 minutes left on the show, but again, we're not bound by time right now. We may be in the near future, but right now we're not, so we can go as long as we need to go. But I know he's hungry, but you look at Junior. Junior comes out this weekend, Dale Jr., and says, okay, nobody asked, but since you're asking me, I want Alex Bowman in the car going forward. I think he's earned a shot. He raced for Junior last year, 10 races. Well, Junior was out with that concussion, so Is Bowman the guy you want in there? A driver, maybe, from a talent standpoint, maybe. I'm not totally sold on him. But from a sponsor standpoint, they're used to having the most popular driver in NASCAR. They're paying big bucks. Mountain Dew, National Guard, certainly Nationwide Insurance. So these guys are writing big checks because Junior's in the car. I would think it all changes if you have a Bowman or somebody's kind of an unproven talent. So is he the guy long term that Rick Hendrick will tap on the shoulder and say, "You're my guy"?
Yeah, there's so many good young drivers in the sport right now, and so many looking for a place to drive. I just have a hard time seeing that.
Me too.
I have a hard time, and I think for Junior, if he really wants Bowman in that car, as much as he's saying, I think he would have to put his money where his mouth is and say, look, if you put this kid in the car, I'll continue to do commercials for you. National Guard and Pepsi, whoever else is on his, or Mountain Dew, whoever's on his car. I'll continue to do commercials and help introduce people to this driver because I believe in him that much. So, I think we may ultimately find out how much Junior wants Bowman in that car because he would have to be involved in the marketing side of it down the road, which, that may not be a problem. I think he's a guy who'll be at the track anyway. He's got his Xfinity team and all that. And I think he's going to still be involved in racing, just not on, in the car on the Cup level. So, we'll find out. But, man, we talk about all the young drivers out there, and this is just the time where you have a chance to lock in a guy, who'll be for the next 15 years a superstar driver. The only dangerous part about it is figuring out which one to bet on. Kyle Larson, I think, is a guy that you could safely bet on. I think they already have Chase Elliott on that team, and I think he's a guy that's going to be successful for a long time to come. So, just a matter of them taking a look at it and being sure they bet on the right guy, because if you lose sponsorship, then you're in a bad situation trying to run 4 cars.
You got Ryan Blaney, Wood Brothers. You've got Chris Buescher, Roush Fenway. Those are a couple of guys. You got William Byron already in the camp.
Yep.
I did a little investigating over the weekend talking about Carl Edwards and or Greg Biffle. Well, got told from a pretty reliable source in and around NASCAR that Dodge is coming back either next year or next year's 18 or 19. Dodge is coming back, and so they may be going after a marquee name to throw in that car, and the obvious that's out there right now would be Carl Edwards. So I don't know whether he's contractually bound to Gibbs, but so that may be why he's kind of sitting back and waiting like a Cheshire cat. I think Biffle, for everything I was told over the weekend, has pretty much priced himself out of the market because it's either, okay, I'll race, but here's what I got to have, and until then, I'm going to just do my TV stuff. So I think Biffle's content where he's at, out of the car, doing the broadcasting thing. And this is coming from a third party, but who is in the know about what's going on.
Yeah, I've heard that about Carl Edwards since the minute he left, is that he's coming back with Dodge. And, I would be okay with that. I'd be totally fine, if he had just said, well, I'm just going to take a year off. I'm burned out. I'm not going to race next year. I'm going to take a year off. But when you start saying it's for your health, and then if you turn around and say, oh, well,
my health is good.
My health isn't important anymore. I'm coming back with Dodge. I mean, it's I think if you cry wolf on your health, I think it does a disservice to all the other drivers out there who have legitimate concerns, maybe if they've had some head injuries and decide to get out of the sport, because they'll have to end up fending off questions for the next 5 or 10 years about if they're getting back in the car like Carl Edwards did. And I just think that would be disingenuous. From everything I know of Carl Edwards, it would really surprise me if he cited health concerns and then climbed back in a race car next year or the year after. That to me would just be a shock. I think there would have been a good way to go about that. If he wanted to get out of the car, he could have come up with any number of reasons other than his health. So that bears watching. But like you say, there's a lot of smoke around that about him coming back.
Oh, yes.
and being part. And I guess the ownership stake is what he would get, kind of like Tony Stewart got with Stewart-Haas Racing. So it would be lucrative. I just don't know how fans would receive him if that happened.
There was a legendary football coach not too long ago quit University of Florida because he needed his health, and then wasn't too long he got a big check written to him to coach his arch rival, the Ohio State Buckeyes. So,
well, those two deserve each other. Urban Meyer and they deserve each other, and one day he'll do to them what he did to Florida if the tables ever turn. So, but
there you go.
Buyer beware. Buyer beware. That's what I always say.
All right, can you hang for a few minutes?
Hey, I can, yeah.
Quick break. We'll come right back. We'll totally switch gears, talk a little college football, a little NBA, and how about the Predators? They're getting ready to play for the World Championship of Professional Hockey, so we'll talk a little. We'll run through a sundry of sports before we wrap this thing up with Dave Andre of the Johnson City Press next year on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the things that owner Tim Smith is most proud of is their hard-earned certifications.
We are an ASE Blue Seal shop, which is important because what it tells the customer is we care enough to get certified, not in one certain area of cars. You have to be certified in 8 different certifications, in 8 different tests you have to take, and you have to be updated on them yearly to make sure that you're up to date. We not only have one of those, we have 3 ASE Master Technicians here with the ratio, goes into a ratio, and we're a Blue Seal shop, so it tells you that we care about training and we care about knowing about your car. We want to help fix it right.
American Import and Auto Repair, West Market Street, Johnson City, home of the free loaner car program. Open 6 days a week. Call today, 913-3111.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show for a few more minutes. He's got him a Diet Dr. Pepper, so he's good. It's all good. And so we got our first score coming in. By the way, we got some bad weather in Middle Tennessee, so it looks like everything's kind of on a holding pattern. However, unfortunately, got to report to you that Peabody and that losers bracket game eliminated North Green today. North Green finishes with a record of 22-6. Peabody beat them, what was it, 12-0?
12-0.
12-0. So North Green is done. Dobbins Minute was to be playing at 11 o'clock in the losers bracket game in AAA. So everything's kind of on hold, it would appear. Dave just showed me the radar that some rain and some bad weather's coming our way. So can't mow today. Dadgummit. So
me neither.
Yeah. So we'll just bike that big John Deere in the front yard and start baling it. So or get a goat, buy a goat.
Yeah.
So,
if anybody's got any goats, so. I don't want to make this, what is that, a swap shop? Yeah, we don't want to do swap shop, but if anybody's got any goats,
get a
hold of us. Find us on Twitter.
Call Dave. Dave's in the Thud's looking for some goats. Your wife, I've only met her 2 or 3 times. If you all came in with a car full of goats, just open up the back door, let them bounce out. Go, look, honey, no more mowing. We're going to have goats. She'd kill you.
Oh, she might. She likes goats, though. Those things are so cute. Who's going to turn down a goat, you know? They always look like they're smiling. Have you ever seen them? We went to the petting zoo with my daughter, and my wife's just like, man, those things look like the happiest animals. Nobody's turning down a goat. Tom.
Oh, you're killing me. Quit, you make me cry. He says, that was a line of the day. I got to write that down. Tom, goats are always smiling. They're happy creatures.
They look like it. I mean, they look jolly. I've never You know, there were even a couple of them. They were button heads. You know, they're in the petting zoo, and everybody cleared their kids away, and they're button heads. But even during then, they had a big smile on their face.
Even when they're killing each other, they're smiling. That's good.
Yeah.
And all the other kids cleared out, but the Angie kid, she's right in the middle of it. They said, go.
That's a lesson for all of us, really, in life. I mean, you know, times get hard, keep a smile on your face, you know?
I wrote it down. Goats. That's the line of the day. They're always smiling.
Always smiling.
Whew. Lordy, get you a drink before we jump into the National Hockey League. Get you a drink because we can talk about the watermelon mint lemonade right now going on right here for a limited time at your Chick-Fil-A. Again, it is, let's see, fresh squeezed Chick-Fil-A lemonade mixed with natural watermelon and mint flavor. Again, you get a dye lemonade also, so you can get it high octane or low octane. And then the new sandwich app is, I'm going to have one of these here in just a second. Smokehouse barbecue bacon sandwich.
Ooh.
Chick-fil-A grilled chicken with brown sugar and pepper blend bacon, topped with Colby Jack cheese and smokehouse barbecue sauce, served in a toasted sweet yeast bun for a limited time at your local Chick-fil-A where we are. So there you go. That's at the crossings here in North Johnson City.
They had me at bacon. They had me at bacon.
Got you?
That was it. I was sold.
You're a bacon man?
Oh, man. Who isn't?
That's right. It's good. And this is good bacon, too.
It is.
All bacon's good, but there's something different about their bacon at Chick-fil-A. So got to check out the new sandwich. We're here live for a few more minutes. So the Nashville Predators finish off their opponent, the Anaheim Ducks. They're now waiting for Game 7 tomorrow night. Pittsburgh and Ottawa. Ottawa forces to Game 7 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. The defending Stanley Cup champion, Pittsburgh Penguins, will battle Ottawa tomorrow night in Pittsburgh. The winner gets the Predators, and I know Nashville's gone bonkers, and really, you've seen it up here too. More and more hats and stickers and pennants, and so folks up here are buying into the Predators. It's the phenom this year.
Oh, it's wonderful, and folks down in Nashville are figuring out what us Yankees have known for years about hockey. It's playoff hockey. I mean, it doesn't get any better. You know, for years, you know, and I'm not really much of a regular season guy, but once the playoffs roll around, I mean, you just can't beat it with the drama, intensity, you know, especially when you get those games. And we've had a few in recent years, more than a few really, where you get to Game 7 of a series and it's elimination, and they go into overtime and next goal wins, and you've got guys out there tired who've been on the ice all night, and it's going to, you know, one mistake, and that's going to decide it, you know. And you watched that game the other night, too, with Ottawa and Pittsburgh, and you know, I think the game-winning goal for Ottawa wound up being one that was off the pipes. I mean, you know, hit the pipe and bounced in, and you know, an inch the other way, you know, and it could be a completely different game. Pittsburgh could be moving on to the Stanley Cup Finals. So, just the drama. I mean, if you start watching it, I promise you, by the end of the first period, you're going to be hooked to the end. You know, it's a lot of fun, and the folks in Nashville. You know, and people up north always kind of make fun of the teams down south and say, oh, the fans don't get it, they don't understand. I mean, it's not even like an away game when you go down there and play, just because their fans aren't as into it as they are up north. But this is the best home rink advantage in hockey right now. I mean, these fans are knowledgeable. They've done a great job with that franchise of kind of educating fans and getting them into it. And, you know, it's big time. You know, it's a tough place to play. It's going to be fun to watch.
Well, the sound decibel in the last game of the St. Louis Blues series was at 126 inside the arena, and that was like an equivalent to a fighter jet not only taking off but staying up in the air the whole time, because they said it was so loud that the Predator players on the ice had to yell at each other to hear what they were saying, because the place was just a constant roar from the time that they flipped the lights on to the thing was over. So it is definitely a home rink advantage. And so if you're a hockey purist, and I'm not, so here's the question. Penguins had 45 shots on goal last night. So does that tell me, A, that the Ottawa defense, I mean, obviously the goalie Anderson's phenomenal because he stopped them, and has had 22 shots on goal in the second period. So does that tell me that if I have 45 shots on goal, does that mean my defense is pretty crummy, or that the Penguins are a pretty good offensive-minded hockey team?
I'll tell you this. I think if you're it's hard to know who to pull for if you're a Predators fan at this point, because the Penguins are so prolific offensively. When you look at Crosby and their entire team, you know, they get off good shots, and when they get shots, what that number tells you is they get them squared up and they get them on the goal and put pressure on your goaltender. So Pittsburgh's very prolific, and that's going to be tough for Nashville to deal with. I think Nashville's strength, though, is their defensemen. You know, they're so deep with their defensemen too, that's been, you know, making a difference. Like the game they won the other day, and when they were playing the Ducks out there, they scored the go-ahead goal with 10 minutes left in the game, And no matter the fact that the Ducks were bombarding them or doing the best they could to get as many shots off as possible, they only gave up 3 shots the rest of the game because those defensemen for Nashville were able to get the puck away and clear it out. So, you have to – that's going to be strength on strength if they play Pittsburgh. Now, with Ottawa, what you don't want to see if you're Nashville is Ottawa rolling in with a goaltender that had 45 shots on goal and only gave up 1 goal the other night. I mean, that's the thing that can kill you in hockey is if you run into a red-hot goaltender, there's nothing you can do. You're going to have to try to score against somebody that's got the goal covered. So both teams it's going to be tough either way. I don't know. You're just kind of picking your poison. But what that shows you is Pittsburgh's prolific offensively, and Ottawa's goalie is playing out of his mind right now.
There you go. So that's the National Hockey League. Game 7 tomorrow night in Pittsburgh. Predators waiting on the winner, the Ottawa-Pittsburgh Penguin. You would think on the ice in Pittsburgh in front of the home fans, the Penguins could win it, but Ottawa has proven after being shellacked 7-0 2 games ago. Came back last night, got the big win in Ottawa, so we'll see. NBA, Golden State disposed of my Spurs. They're depleted, and Golden State was a better team, let's face it. It would have been nice to see how they would have done with a healthy Kawhi Leonard, but they didn't. Spurs eliminated. Warriors fair and square, move on. I'm not a crybaby. My team gets beat, they get beat. So they've moved on, and they wait the Cavaliers and the Celtics. Kyrie Irving last night, 42, and LeBron 34. Yep. Cavaliers beat the Celtics. They take it back to Boston, try and finish it. It looks like we're on a collision course for the 3rd straight finals between Golden State and Cleveland. And so both teams playing great basketball, and I just don't see the Celtics stopping Cleveland. I think we're getting ready to see it for the 3rd straight year, the finals, and that should be a dandy.
Oh, it's going to be great. They say in sports that familiarity breeds contempt, and those two teams. What I love about it is it reminds me a lot of Lakers and Celtics in the respect of the fact that they wind up playing each other a lot, very frequently in the finals. First of all, second of all, there's no shortage of star power in both teams. But the third thing is they do it completely different ways. If you look at how Cleveland plays as opposed to how Golden State has done it, both great teams, but they do it completely differently. They have completely different set of strengths on each squad. So that's going to make, I think, for a really good finals. And looking forward to that. Back to San Antonio, I would like to have seen Tony Parker in there too. People forget Parker getting injured, and they still win that series over the Rockets. He just got hurt early on. Then you lose Leonard, and like you say, that's just a little bit too much. And you have to wonder at this point, and they did a good job the other night of honoring Ginobili just in case that was it for him. And I would hate to see that if that's his last game for San Antonio, because I think he's been one of the more unheralded, unsung players in the NBA. But like they're talking about him being being a Hall of Famer, and I believe that's definitely true for him because he's done a lot over his career, despite the fact he's only been on 2 All-Star teams over a 15-year career, which to me is amazing.
Parker?
No, not Parker, Ginobili.
Oh, Ginobili.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
15 years, 2 All-Star teams. So.
Wow,
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep, and that I think shows how underappreciated he is when you look at his numbers and what he's done. I don't know if there's anybody else in the Hall of Fame that was only on 2 All-Star teams. That would be interesting to look up, but yeah, definitely a great player.
He's been a main cog in that San Antonio success for many years. Quick note again, new basketball coach Dustin Kearns from Kingsport Dobbins-Middle, the new coach at Presbyterian College, an alum of DB, becomes 18th head coach, and we hope to he listens to the show when he can, and we hope to have him on and talk about his goals. And so one of our local young men doing well. Also, weather permitting, 4 o'clock today, the Buccaneers of East Tennessee State playing baseball against Western Carolina, the defending tournament champion from a year ago. And that'll be a 4 o'clock first pitch. Blake Smith starts it. Bucks are 27-27, and they're the 7th seed. Western Carolina 28-26, the number 2 seed, playing all that down in Greenville, South Carolina. And then the Scienceville soccer team wins yesterday for Coach Strickland, and so they move on and play in the second round of the soccer against Station Camp, who's 20-0. Scienceville 22-1. So. And Greenville, out of fairness, Greenville, the defending state soccer champion in single AA, they play today at 7:30 against CPA. So still making some noise, our soccer teams down in the state tournament.
Yeah, definitely so. Good for Scienceville, good for Strickland. I'm a big fan of his, and he's of course is going to be coaching the Otters this summer, the professional team. So that'll be fun to watch that. But Dustin Kearns, great man. He's done a great job at Wofford. If you can serve as an assistant under Mike Young for the amount of time he did, which Mike Young's a tough, demanding guy, he gets the best out of his people. That Kearns, if he gets the endorsement of Mike Young, he is the man. I'm excited for him, thrilled for him. That's hard work paying off. That guy has been an assistant coach coast to coast in college basketball, and finally is getting his shot. I'm thrilled for him. I think the people at Presbyterian made a good choice there.
Today's line is Tom Goats.
Goats.
They're always smiling. Dave Onge's always smiling. There you go.
Just look at a picture of a goat when you get home, and you'll smile yourself. If you're ever down, they're.
So what I need is a picture of a goat above my computer in the office at home. So when I'm having a bad day, just look up that goat and I'll smile.
Nature's pick me up. I'm telling you, I can't believe. You just
Wait a minute.
Look up a billy goat.
Wait a minute.
Billy goat. You got the Google.
Nature's pick me up.
You can use the Google.
This is going to come back to haunt him. I'm telling you right now.
I'm telling you.
We're going to have fun with this one. Nature's pick me up.
Yeah.
Goats. They're always smiling.
Yeah.
On that note, you'll get you some food. And my man Dave Onge with me next week, I hope.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Got your wheels underneath you. He told me today, he said, I feel so good I drove myself to the show today.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
It's like I'm 16 again. Just got my license. So got wheels under me. I'm a happy man.
Car's out of the shop and he's rolling. All right. Come back and see me next week, would you please?
Absolutely.
All right. That's my buddy Dave Onge again from the Johnson City Press. Hey, we're out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours, and we're going to do it again coming up tomorrow from Champion Chevrolet. And then on Friday, we're going to be at Food City. Then next week, again, no show on Monday. Then next Tuesday, we'll be at Phil's Dream Pit. Next Wednesday, we'll be right back here. Next Thursday, Champion Chevrolet. And then next Friday, we'll be at Food City in Elizabeth. And so all that's coming up again here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. So we wrap up show number 525. And again, we appreciate our guests again today. The obvious, we had Karen Hubbs in from the Goose Chase, Hank Brown from WeLoveEvents.com. Also, we want to say thanks to our buddy Greg Salyer with the Major League Baseball update. And, of course, my man, the myth, the legend, as we call him, the man who says goats. Nature's picked me up. Guy's nuts. I love him. He is a piece of work. So, hey, we're out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. Back at it tomorrow. And, of course, ran a little bit over today, but that's okay because we can do that because it's our show, and we will bring it back to you tomorrow at 11 o'clock live from Champion Chevrolet. So until then, as always, we'll tell you, win or lose, be a good sport. Song, everybody, from Chick-Fil-A, The Crossings in North Johnson City. And remember, goats, they're always smiling.